about the significant time commitment that even one college course requires. If you haven't already viewed that video, please do so now. This video will discuss some time management strategies and tips that can help college students avoid some of the stress of college. First tip, write everything you have to do down. Your brain can only hold about 4 chunks of information in its working memory at any one time. Trying to keep track of everything you are supposed to be learning in college can be very difficult if it's competing for space with remembering what you need to do. When I say write things down, it doesn't really matter that much where or how, so long as it works for you. Pick a system and stick with it. When I was in college, I used a simple calendar for mapping out my semester and a small pad for keeping a daily to-do list. Now I keep both my calendar and to-do list on an application that syncs up to my computer and phone. Both have their pros and cons. The major pro for electronic systems is that they tend to be backed up regularly and available from multiple devices. The con is that some people may go to their phone to enter a to-do list item, see a text, open an Instagram, and then get distracted. Only you can decide which is best for you. Once you've decided on a system and started entering everything that needs doing into it, find a time, at least daily, to review it and make sure that you've completed everything you need to do. Some people look over it first thing in the morning and last at night. I like to review it when I was done for classes for the day and just starting on homework because it helped me plan what was most important. Second tip, break large items into smaller tasks. While you might have history paper due on your calendar, it's probably better to make smaller goals on your to-do list. The reason for this is that history paper is a big item. It feels heavy and hard to start on, and big items are the ones we tend to procrastinate on. Instead of leaving one big item on the to-do list, during my review I might just decide, okay, today let's at least choose a topic and find 5 potential sources for my paper. That is so much more manageable and I'm less likely to procrastinate on it. A third tip is hidden in the previous example. Just start working on one thing. Often when we feel like we have a lot to do, we spend our time thinking, worrying, complaining about how much we have to do. It's okay to have those feelings, but they don't help us reach our larger goals. So after a few minutes, just start working on one thing that you've got to do. I like to try and get the worst thing or the hardest thing out of the way first, but sometimes my energy level isn't there yet. But I'll at least start working on something. I start building the momentum needed to keep going. Often, after I complete a task, I find it wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be, and I feel much better after it is off my list. One useful technique that many people have used that goes along with this idea is called the Pomodoro technique. The idea, developed by Francesco Cirillo, is simply to set a timer for a short period of time called a Pomodoro. 25 minutes is standard, but you can modify it. Work on one thing at a time during that period, absolutely no distractions, and then, after it's done, take a short 5-minute or so break and do it again. After about 4 Pomodoros of work, take a longer break. For me, the power of this technique is from 2 major parts. 1, by not being distracted, I can get a lot more work done. And 2, by knowing I have a break coming up within 25 minutes, I'm more willing to get down to work and not be distracted in the first place. Now, the 4th and final tip. Be honest with yourself about your goals and priorities. All the time management tips, techniques, and tricks won't help you reach a goal if you're not really interested in it. When I get frustrated and don't want to work on something, I remind myself of the long-term goal I have and how this task relates to that. One useful strategy developed by Gabrielle Oettingen for sustaining a goal is WOOP, which stands for Wish, Outcome, Obstacle, and Plan. Start by defining your wish. What is it that you want to accomplish? This needs to be something that you really want, not something your teachers or parents want, or even something you feel like you should want. I'll share a wish from my college days. I wish I wasn't always scrambling to get homework done at midnight on a Sunday night. Next, look at the outcome of achieving this. Really envision the outcome. If my homework were done earlier in the weekend, I wouldn't dread Monday so much. I would get to bed earlier and not feel so groggy on Monday morning. I would have a giant burden lifted off my shoulders, and I'd feel better about myself. Now, consider the obstacle. What are the personal obstacles that prevent you from accomplishing your goal? Again, try to be really specific about what stops you. For me, it was Saturday afternoon naps. I tended to have some free time, and I would just sleep it away. At lunch, I would tell myself, I'm going to work on schoolwork after lunch, but then I would end up watching TV and falling asleep. Finally, plan. What can you do to avoid getting trapped by this obstacle? Make a plan. If and when the obstacle occurs, I will do this action. For instance, when I finish lunch on Saturday, I will head to the library for 2 hours to get some work done. Simply changing my environment helped me change my cues, and it helped me reach my goal. Now it's time for you to consider what will help you reach your goals.